let's do this. It's gonna be fun. So I'm gonna go upwards. So this is the DPA awards. So we can talk about all the different thingies. Uh, so word of the year. What do you guys think? What is the word of the year? These are the nominations, but I want to know what you guys think. What did you guys vote? I don't want to show the response. Actually, there's 98 response right now. I got like the tentative results. You split the chat. Tag them. Don't worry. I will later close the stream and push them all over to the open mic channel. That's actually the aim. The aim is to gather them and then and then kick them over here because on YouTube there's a function to kick them over. So that's the aim I'm gonna do. So I think slop is one of the. I think slop is the word of the year for me. Because I think prior to 2025, I don't think there's a word called slop. And not say the word don't exist, but as in people don't use the word slop that much, It becomes very commonly used, like AI slop and what slop, that slop, like let me watch on DPA Open Mic. Okay. Then yeah. Then I can upload the thumbnail. Okay. Sorry, give me a second. I need to set up this so that we can get the people over. Watch on DPA Open Mic, and then upload the thumbnail. Yeah. Yep. So that's what it is. So sorry. I'm very. I cannot distract. I cannot do so much things at once. It's too much things at once. Oh no. Yeah, it's so yeah. Oh, okay, I'm back. So yeah, anti-Semitism. Actually, anti-Semitism. Yeah, you guys are right. Anti-Semitism seems to be like also like a thing, right, in 2025. But I think prior to that, because of the heavy bombings on Gaza, I think that's also already like pretty. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So yeah. So that's word of the year. So, what you guys think? Let me read. I no, conspiracy is the pick for a rock monster on Rumble. So he say, yeah, why it falls on the year of the snake. Yeah, snake year is always not good year. Snake year always don't seem to be good year. So that's it. Dragon years are also not very good years. At least for my family. So, oh my god, I should have shaved. No, but it's okay. It's okay. No, yeah. So let's see. Okay, so that's word of the year. Anyway, if you guys want to come on and chit chat and let's then talk, discuss about all these things, together. Yeah, will be fun together. So we have the quote of the year. So this is one of these interesting, random vote, and you can quote someone or you can make up something yourself. There is a Zelensky frozen outside Kupiansk. Israel has nothing to do with. Insert whatever you want. Then I'm ready to stack them like cordwood. I think there's this. Yeah. So then Mima died in the Holly. Don't know. What's that supposed to mean? I also don't know. Then the European Union was formed to screw with the United States. Oh, I shouldn't click it. Oh, that's bad. I shouldn't click it. Oh my god. Okay. Shit. Clicking it like suddenly make it edit. Okay, so the European Union was formed in order to screw the United States. The funny thing is that this is actually true, no? I think this is actually true. EU is like more like, is really, to compete with United States. Oh, someone, Ivan Petrov just realized he was actually Jew. No, I just saw Ivan Petrov just realized he's Jew. That's funny. Um, yeah, but no, but you should be happy about it. No, Jews are known to be the smartest people on earth. The then after that it's the Chinese. So so yeah, that's so. I have no camera, but people can know about me enough in chat. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, the thing is, I have dealt with so many people on the internet. No, if you have no, when people don't have to show face and they don't even use their own name, right? Everybody use alias. The problem is that people become very irresponsible, when they talk, and and that makes it uncivilized. So that's why showing face is the bare minimum that we have to have on DPA Open Mic, and that build trust, right? So unfortunately that's the case. Like for some of you guys may know some of the dramas, or maybe you've seen some rumors about the dramas in Discord, the DPA Discord. That's a fucking good example where people who do not show their face, do not use their real identity, and then went on to screw up the whole server. And that's very unfortunate, because not all these people hiding behind anonymous identity. They don't show their face, they don't use their own real identity. They can go after other people, they bully each other, and then they screw up everything, and then it's like no one behave like real human beings. I'm 100% sure none of them behave the same way they behave on Discord in real life. So unfortunately that's the case. So that's why DP Open might have this rule. We have to show face. So no, too bad. So yeah, and then okay, so and impossible sailing is impossible. Yeah, that's my quote. So the comparison is the thief of joy. When you are losing on the battlefield, launch and counter-offensive on the Twitter front. Zelensky. Nigger hail Hitler by Kanye West. Actually, I can show some of this result, like the tentative result. I can show you the tentative result. I think more people will be voting in the next 2 days, so we can have the tentative result. The word of the year tentatively is slop, which on 26. Conspiracy is on 29. Sorry, then conspiracy is on 26. Anti-Semitism 25. So some of this conversation that we have on the live chat, I can see now is like, we are pretty close there. So yeah. So so quote of the year. So just now we were at the Twitter front, the Zelensky, which is actually well voted, is among the top. So if you guys haven't voted, right, you can go and vote. You will affect the vote because the competition is actually quite close. So when we have nigger Hitler, and then Trump, we are going to win so much in 2025, we're going to be tired of winning, which nobody cares. The vampire party is over. Russia already won 4 votes. Stay private is like horrible, nobody cares. Like, we are winning. Is actually one of the top voted ones. Yeah. Is the link working? Oh my freaking god, why nobody is joining? Let me check. It was like, let me check. It's working, right? Yeah, it's working. So it's working. So yeah, I just worried, like, no. Okay, then don't live your past, live your life. Yeah, good advice, nobody cares. Nobody cares about good. Then the great noticing has started, nobody cares as well. The great noticing is something related to the woke people starting to realize something is amiss. Or the people start to realize, like people who have been trustee of government or big mass media starting to realize. I think that is what he's talking about. And then all my niggas, Nazi nigger hell Hitler. Yeah, this kind of like, no, yeah. It didn't get very high, So if people are zombie attack you, you kill them, is it still sit on site? By Rebecca Buff Steph. So yeah, that makes, yeah, I'm not sure. Is it still genocide? I mean, it still can be genocide, right? No, it still can be genocide. So it's possible. Hi, Kokeviali.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, I'm going through. So today will be a bit of a special episode. I will go through all the awards category because it basically sums up the year. So we kind of can do review of the year. We can talk about the different things. So I'm going through from the bottom up because then we will end with the person of the year. So but now we are going through the second. Like just now we were in the word of the year. This is the current voting result, but the vote is still ongoing. So the slot is then number one. So now I'm going through the quote of the year. So people can make up quote as well. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't include my favorite quote, which is from Ursula von der Leyen. She said,
what she
"Europe
say.
is the values of the Talmud."
Yeah, but this one is up to people to nominate. I don't add it. I don't add this myself. Everything is nominated. Like all these are all written by people, by the DPA community. So no, you didn't nominate. No, so it's gone. Yeah. Then you're already blessed in so many ways. Focus on that. Like good advice are not voted on. Nobody cares. Russia is retreating forward. 32. This is the most popular one right now. And then speak often of victory, especially when it's not near. Zelensky. Okay, so these are the quote of the year. Yeah, then we have the greatest doodle on the DPA mapping. Evil Rabbit clearly is going to be the winner. That's pretty obvious. I also voted for Evil Rabbit. I also voted, by the way, I also voted. Okay, so let's talk about Ukraine war. Most underwhelming settlement and front in the Ukraine war. We have Kherson front, Odessa front, and Kharkiv. Yeah, can't dispute that. It's all the southern fronts. Kharkiv is not that bad. I mean, yeah, but it's not. Some people expected a lot. So, I mean, a lot of people chit chatting. Yeah, so. And then the most strategic settlement of the year. Pokrov. What do you think? Do you follow the Ukraine war?
I look at the map of the Ukraine war, like from last year to this year. I can't even tell the difference. It just looks like pretty much the same to me.
If you zoom out, yeah, it's not very obvious. You have to zoom in, and in a way, from a very neutral point of view, it's a disappointment, right? If you look at like the great mighty Russia, and then they struggle to wipe out Ukraine. So, but they also put into a perspective, if you ask me, like, if it's the United States going to a proper war with a third country, like like what happened in Vietnam War. Vietnam War, the United States also struggled very really badly. Like people all thought that the United States would have trounced Vietnam, but it didn't. So similarly, now we have the same thing where Russia have a proper war with Ukraine and they fail to succeed. I think it's something similar. Like people overestimated the big powers sometimes. When the defending country have the will to fight, then the stronger country actually do not necessarily have that advantage. Like, but not by that much. Like, they have an advantage to kill more people, but they don't necessarily just run over the opponent like how we have imagined. So it's a bit it feels a lot more like chess. Like in chess, it's like both sides will lose a lot of chess pieces. Then you go to the end game. It seems like this as well. And like both sides, Russia and Ukraine, is losing a lot of men, and you have to go towards the end game where both sides lose a lot of people, but one side finally wins. But that is like you'll be like so exhausted by the end of the war. Then that's what happened to America, right? When they go to Vietnam, like after the end of Vietnam, they're just exhausted as a country. They just can't go for another war. Why you miss out Russia fighting NATO in Ukraine? I mean, true, but United States was fighting the whole of whole of the Soviet, the whole of Warsaw Pact. That's why Vietnam is so difficult to fight. That's why Korean War was so difficult to fight. They're fighting the whole of the Soviet sphere. Does Singapore secretly block Asia? Okay, I'm not going to read some of the chat. I don't understand. Yeah, so, but you do you have an opinion for Koke Valley? Most strategic settlement. What do you think of this year?
Shit, I don't know.
Okay, so next. So Battlefront of the year. What is the front of the year for you? Or no, can't tell a difference.
I don't know, man.
We need Vaughn.
I,
Vaughn is obsessed with Ukraine war, but he's not here. I think in the open mic speaker lounge, I think they in the VC there are something's happening over
well,
there.
I want to know which you think, because you're the one who follows it.
Oh wait, I forgot which one I voted. I think the Battlefront of the year is Pokrov for me. Kursk actually was pretty significant. Kursk, because people forgotten that Kursk front was a thing. You know, where the Ukrainians entered into Russia, and it was a big thing for most of the year. Like people already forgotten about it. So, and that was like at the turn of the year as well. So, it started off with the Kursk front, and eventually, the Ukraine lost it. So, yeah, but right now I think Pokrov is like the big one. So, yeah, for most strategic settlement, I think Kupian, Sivers. I think it might be Pokrov or Sivers. Will be. I think Pokrov. I think Pokrov is like the linchpin to whatever the Ukrainians' defense line will be left in Donetsk. Because after Pokrov, there is not much big cities all the way until Kramatorsk and Sloviansk. So it's like after Pokrov, Ukraine is going to struggle a lot more. But I mean, the war is very slow. So I think the drones, FPV drones, really made a difference. So not going to go fast. Battle of the year. So Battle of Pokrov, is the highly most voted. Battle of the year. Okay. The rest of the battles, I think, is actually all very underwhelming. I mean, it's quite straightforward. The nominations are also pretty disappointing. Yeah, maybe Ukraine war really nothing much have happened. maybe this year really have nothing much have happened. I don't know. War of the year, of course, Ukraine war is going to win. Israel-Iran war. What is the war of the year for you? Since you are not following Ukraine war that much.
Oh man, I followed Israel-Iran a lot more than Ukraine. It was just, I was really disappointed. It was not like, it felt like a lot of those Iranian strikes, they just made a giant mess. They didn't really structurally knock down buildings. So I think I was thinking Israel's going to be fine the whole time.
I think a lot of the strikes was on military airbase and military bases, which is Israel. In the beginning, they didn't limit the civilians from filming. Then after the initial the footages that came out was so bad, they enforced the law. Then none of the Israelis started to post all the videos. Then as a result, we have basically almost blackout, almost not entirely, but almost blackout of footages of the strikes. And some of that, and the ones that came out was unimaginable. It's like computer games, all the missiles just flying down. It's like computer games. Those are like fireballs from the sky, So those were some amazing footages that I have never.
Yeah,
ever
that
seen
was
before.
really amazing footage. But I wonder, were they really targeting infrastructure and key things? Because it seemed like they blew up just like some corner of some apartment and they didn't even collapse it. Like some random office buildings.
Hey, upgrade. Yeah, we all have half faces only. Yeah, because if not, upgrade will steal the show. Upgrade, what's the war of the year for you?
The what?
War of the year. 2025, there's a lot of wars. Like, which war
Yeah,
is
sure.
like the...
I voted for Russia, Ukraine, and also the Thailand Cambodia war, Israel Hamas, of course, because Thailand Cambodia came out of nowhere. I told you about it.
Yeah,
For me,
tell
it's
me
like,
about
what
it,
the
man.
hell?
Thailand, Cambodia is like totally like, what the fuck? Like, I'm
Exactly, man.
living in ASEAN, I'm living in Southeast Asia. I was like, what the fuck? And
I've been
it's
to both
so
countries. I told you, it's very very nice people and very nice places to
yeah.
visit. And I'm like, what the hell are they fighting for? Some temple? Like Jesus, just make the Buddhists come, and talk over it, like you usually do.
And your thought is actually the predominant thought I've seen. Like for a lot of the foreigners that have visited both countries, like they all say that both countries are super nice people. They know why are they fighting, and both Buddhists know they're like why Buddhists are fighting. So it's but the thing is it felt like a simmering thing, like hi Nunya. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh yeah, I forgot. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to
Oh, the
everybody.
Christmas is over. Sorry for
Hey
the
guys.
last week. I burned out. Like I totally have no way to do the open mic. If not, we would have our Christmas stream. So yeah, it was something that was simmering for a long time. Like the Cambodian computer side had been like provoking the Thai side. And then the Thai side like had enough, and then they attacked. Then Trump intervened. Then Trump and Anwar, no, the Malaysia intervened. Then it stopped. But then the Cambodians allegedly seems to continue to poke Thailand, and Thailand just had enough. It's like fuck it. Then they just attacked. So and then they just went all in. So and then it seems like they have achieved all their military objective. So they have the peace deal, and there's nothing Cambodia can do because they're losing the war. I heard that the unofficial number is like 10-1, the casualty rate for the Cambodian side. So it's not surprising, one side got tanks and fighter jets, and the other side got nothing. The other side got the sleeper wearing, soldiers with their wife and kids at the front line with them in the bunker. I was like, what the fuck? So, Nunya, what's the war of the year for you?
I'll vote for Israel Iran because I think that it gave the world the opportunity to see the capabilities that both countries have, specifically Iran. And I think, the Israels and the USs of the world will think twice about striking Iran again.
I think it's also the first time we see actual proper saturation strikes. I think not even Russia do saturation strikes. I think this is the first time we see a proper rocket and missile saturation strike by any country. So yeah, that's super interesting to me. So let's pull up again. Conspiracy of the year. No, what you guys think? This is the current live voting, the results. But I mean, the voting is still ongoing. But it's interesting. No, most people voted abstain file. Jews killed Charlie Kirk. There's a lot of Charlie Kirk. There's Jews killed Charlie Kirk. Then Israel killed Charlie Kirk. And then Mossad killed Charlie Kirk. It almost sounds like the same thing.
I'll go for Brigitte Macron on this one. If you haven't seen Becoming Brigitte, you gotta watch it. It is wonderfully entertaining trash. And I was totally cynical before watching that first episode. By the end of the first episode, I was like, yeah, she's a he. No question about it. And by the time you get to the end of the series, you're like, yeah, it's a dude. No question. But the thing about that series is the media gives all the press and all the ink towards her being trans, right? And Candace Owens is exposing Brigitte and she's anti-trans and blah, 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 blah. If you actually watch the documentary, it's more so about how the old power money in Europe, in this case, the Rothschilds, maintain their position of power in Europe. That's really what it's about. But the media being the way they are, they don't want to tell you that, so they kind of gloss it over as being, yeah, she was a dude. She was a dude, by the way, 100%. It's a great series. Watch it, if anything, for the trashiness of it all. It's great.
True. I mean, if we can try to think of a real woman that feels and looks like Macron's wife, we will fail, and because it's no woman looks and feel like this. I mean, even Michelle Obama is also a bit like it's a little bit hard to find like no African American that looks and have the posture and stature like her. So but of course Michelle Obama, like, I think recently slimmed down a lot. I saw the latest Christmas photo with Obama. She looks like super slim. So yeah, who knows? Maybe AI. But yeah. So that makes her look a lot more woman. Previously when she like bulked up a bit, that's a bit like too much muscle.
Well, she's getting to the age where her doctor probably has her on testosterone replacement therapy. Most men go on that when they hit their 60s. So that's what Big Mike's on.
Or maybe Ozempic, right? Now is the hype in the United States is Ozempic, right? So maybe she's on Ozempic. So like she just shrunk, like all those protein shakes doesn't affect her. Upgrade, but what do you think of your? You're also half French, right? So what's your take about your president's wife? Is it a male or female? You are French, so you will know better, right?
I don't know, man. It's a very strange thing. I agree with Nunia there with his take, because there was always like some talks. They were mainly like on the internet and stuff like that, and nobody seemed to touch on this topic because it's a thing which he's anyways already in very deep shit. You don't need that too, so anybody didn't care about that, but now people are like, oh, his wife is a dude, la la la. Now she filed something against her, against Candice. They're going in front of the court. So let's see what's gonna happen. If she can prove that she's a woman, then it would be very strange. But who knows? But it's horrible.
What is the
Anyways.
French public reaction to the Candice Owen documentaries? Does the French public get obsessed with it, like the Americans?
Not at all, because it's a mainly Anglo-Saxon thing, right? So people are like, oh, that's again the Americans who talk something about the Frenchies is nothing new. We are used to it, that the Anglo-Saxon sphere is bashing the French. So we're like, oh, again something. But on the other side, many people have doubts about her, and they are legitimate or not legitimate. That's up to the people who.
Well, the funny thing is, like, it would be so easy to prove, right? And rather than suing Candace Owens and doing this lawsuit, which will go nowhere, et cetera, just do a blood test, show the results, debunks Candace Owens like that, right? But she's not doing that. So that kind of makes you wonder even more, like, what is it that they're actually hiding? So I think this is going to blow up in the Macron's faces, because this is a legal case now, and they have to go to trial, provided that the Macrons don't pull the case, which would be my guess. I think that they're just going to drop the case at some point. It'll never go to trial. It can't go to trial. So that's what'll end up happening.
Yeah.
However, I mean, like, Candice is also known to say a lot of things, So
sure,
on the other side,
she backs it up. She's yet to be proven wrong that I can see. When she makes a statement, she always brings the goods. So
she only says a lot of things, like recently because of Charlie Kirk. Like, when she's doing the French, first lady, people still have super high regards for her. Then that's why people trust what she said for Charlie Kirk. Then it's only like she keep coming up with new conspiracies that people start to like, what the fuck. But her viewership is still super high, like serious high.
But I mean, lately she had very strange takes on some topics, and
people.
I don't think so at all. I mean, what has she done this year? She did the Brigitte Macron thing, which I think everybody will agree has a lot more questions than answers. She did a bit on Trump's killer, or alleged, like the guy who tried to assassinate Trump. She did a bit on him, which honestly nobody else was talking about the guy. I don't even know the guy's name. So what does that tell you? And then she did a bit on Epstein, which is all coming out to proven to be true. And everything that she said about Charlie Kirk, any claims that she's made, she's backed it up with evidence, right? Like the Egyptian planes, all this other stuff. I mean, she hasn't been proven wrong yet. So I just think that she picks topics that nobody else is going to touch. And, she's making arguments, against whatever the prevalent narrative is. Now, whether or not she's right, I don't know. But she's backing it up so far, right? Like, I haven't heard any government come out and say that she's wrong. Let's just put it that way.
Cool. So that's conspiracy for the year. Event of the year. So event, the biggest event seems to be like in terms of votes, like Charlie Kirk assassination is like the biggest thing. Like more than the bombing by Iran. Oh, Vaughn is
Which
here.
is weird. I don't know. I don't know anything about Charlie Kirk, so I can't
back
really comment
on
it.
that Candace Owen things too. There's another train of thought too that, with all her conspiracy shit and wild ass shit, and then this stuff with Macron that they're actually just setting her up to do an Alex Jones on her, where they basically just destroy her entire platform, take all her money, and wreck her. I mean, it's not like she can't just go start shit up somewhere else with a laptop like Alex Jones does, but someone was saying that they might be getting ready to, because I mean, the State Department, I guess, has to be involved for this stuff to kind of go forward. So some people feel like the government let it go through because they know it's not going to work for Candace, and they can basically Alex Jones her with damages and all kinds of shit. But who knows what will happen? Like you said, I mean, if it even goes anywhere, I mean, but she's at risk, but who knows if it works out for her, if she totally gets fucked.
Oh, since Vaughn is here, we go back a bit, backtrack a little bit. What is the battle of the year for you? No. Or the battlefront of the year that we got a few. Ukraine War 1, but we went past. I
don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, I'd say Pokrovsk and Mirhad because it's lasted for a while and it's a big battle, and it looks like it's going to be a major embarrassment defeat for Ukraine, but they still, managed to hold up for a while. I mean, Galolapole is Galolapole is a. I mean, that one's fast, but it's kind of like after the fact. I mean, it's a big deal. I saw something today. The 425th Assault Regiment of Ukraine claims that they're in the process of cleansing Galolapole and clearing it. And I'm like looking at the last, some military summary map, and I'm like, or actually I saw Rybar, and it's like both of them. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, where are you clearing in the village? It's like, the Rybar's map is way worse, and military summaries is pretty damn bad too. I'm like, well, what are you like clearing them trees over there on the outside of town? But yeah, I mean that one, and then the Zaporizhia one's kind of going, but it's been going. Kupiansk, I mean, I wouldn't say it's. I mean, that's like back and forth, I guess, kind of like Klashivka now with. What's going on there. We don't know. It looks like the Russians got pushed out, or they didn't commit to it properly, so they got pushed out. But it's a good win for the Ukrainians. And then, Seversk. I mean, I don't know if that took a long time, so I wouldn't say that's a big battlefront. I mean, it's finally gone, but it's the same thing as the other one. It's now that the city's gone, it's like wide open. So I would say Pokrovsk and Mirahad, because that's like going to be a big problem once it's all finished off, secured. That's going to be a major hub for branching out. You know, the evil rabbit will come back to life, I would imagine.
Would it be the most strategic settlement to you, the Pokrov, Vinograd?
Yeah, I would say so, just because of the size and the roads and where it's located in the south, where they're going to have the most progress. I mean, Kupiansk might have been good, but I don't know. The north, to me, seems like that's going to be the hardest place at all, because you have all the cities and settlements in the woods and the terrain, and it just seems like that's where the Ukrainians like to be versus down south. But yeah.
What's the front of the year for you in 2025? Which front interests you? Or
I think I said Zaporizhia. Like just the whole thing from from Pokrovsk all the way down to Zaporizhia. I say that's probably the best one.
Oh, so that's basically like most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
the whole southern front, you know. I think it was more Zaporizhia or Kyiv area. Just because if they can get something going there, that's going to be pretty interesting. Because yeah.
You can go on. You can go.
No,
on.
I was just saying, like, if you look at Gololopole, I mean, that's going to be the next one that they fucking just tear through. I mean, there's nothing around there for like 35 kilometers of any like size or anything that. I mean, I wouldn't want to hide in one of those little shitty settlements. But yeah.
Okay, event of the year. What do you guys have in mind? Like, what? A lot of things happened this year. This year is a crazy year, no?
Mine was Charlie Kirk assassination, just because of the ripple effect.
What exactly is wrong? What's wrong with Kiss being honored? Excuse me. What's wrong with Kiss being honored? Who is this 2%?
I have no idea. I was like, okay, I just go to copy and paste. I have no idea what it does. No, I just copy and paste.
Proud member of the Kiss Army.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big thing, right? Though, to that person, it's like a big thing. You know, it's like he's getting honored, so you know, it's the event of the year. Yeah, this guy is very positive. No, he has no negative thing happening in the world in his life, which is nice. You know, like for us, it's just death and destruction everywhere, every day. Upgrade, what do you think? What is your event of the year? Like, what is the most biggest thing you think have happened in 2025?
I don't know. Honestly speaking, assassination was something like out of nowhere. So I would say too, Charlie Kirk assassination, but also the Alaska summit between Trump and Putin. I didn't thought that they would come that fast. I thought they would come maybe next year, you know, when everything is settled. Yeah. Maybe put
But
up
it was,
Pokrovsk, yeah.
but it was also quite a pointless thing. Like they met, but then nothing really happened.
Exactly, but it was like some event, right? After all these years, you know, the first time the Russian president went to a Western president, you know, so a Western country. So everybody was talking about it. Yeah.
I'll say a couple that aren't on the list.
Yeah,
I didn't vote either, by the way. But a couple that weren't on the list that I would say are more important than any of these would be first and foremost the Trump trade war, because that kind of came out of nowhere, and that affected pretty much every country in the world in some way. And it was a really big deal. And we're now seeing where the alliances are shifting amongst the various countries. And the second thing that I would put on this list that's not on there would be the SCO meeting that happened, where Xi and Putin and Modi, they were all holding hands and things like that. And that was pretty much the BRICS coming out party. And I think that history will show that SCO meeting was a lot more important than we currently believe. So I'll just add those two.
I agree with what Nunya said as far as the what was the first thing you said?
The tariffs.
Yeah, the tariffs. Sorry. But I mean, I think one reason why it probably didn't get a lot of play is no offense to Trump, but it's pretty convoluted and all over the place and kind of hard to keep track of what's been said, what's been done, what's actually going to be done versus what isn't, you know what I mean? And there's been so many threats and, stuff like that. I think that's probably why I didn't get as much play, because I don't think, unless you're really, really into it, it's probably hard to kind of figure out what the hell actually happened and what deals have actually been made that are actually in place versus all the rhetoric that's been going back and forth between everybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's just the whole Western Atlanticist model is coming to an end, and that was a trigger point for it for sure.
Upgrade, go.
Yeah, I think also maybe an event of the year is the discussion of seizing the Russian assets and actually taking some of it, even if nicely put, nicely framed by the European Union. Taking sovereign funds from a country to give it to another country without their, consents is a big thing. We didn't do it to the Nazis, and we're now doing it to the Russians. So let's see what the repercussion will be for the future, especially for the European market and also for the bonds.
Didn't Russia just do a case or launch a case about that, the assets? Some big case. I saw the headlines that some big financial case has been launched by Russia over the seized assets. So I guess
they're suing them.
We'll see how it plays out.
Interesting. Yeah. So I did find the nomination for the event of the year a bit underwhelming. Like, I thought that there's like so many things happened. Like, I saw the nomination, I was like, huh? Is this it? No. Is this all you can conjure, Saramon? But then I was like, no, okay, forget it. Then yeah. So yeah, let's go to the next one. Weapon of the year. What do you guys think? You guys don't have to follow the list. No, I'm like, we just.
For me, I picked the fiber optic. I mean, I know drones have been around and they're not really the game changer like they are, but they aren't anymore. So I just the fiber optic because I think that's pretty neat. A new twist on it as far as defeating jamming, and then it's crazy that you can fly these things up to 70 kilometers on a spool and deliver a payload or whatever. So to me, that was like the newest thing. I mean, there's lasers.
And I think you can buy it on Alibaba now.
Yeah. I mean, I bought that drone not too long ago, and it's like I get all these stupid ads for drone shit. Learn to fly a drone, make money. But, I've been getting ads for this company that sells the spools. It's like 20, 30, 40, 70 kilometer spools that you can buy to put on your drone. And they show the hookup and everything. It's pretty neat how it works. But, yeah, I mean, that was mine, is just a fiber optic. I thought that was a new twist on it.
I'm going to vote for something that is not on the list. I'm going to vote for those Challenger 2 tanks. I think 2026 will be the year that they put the fear of God into the Russians. So Challenger 2s in 2026.
Slava Ukraini. Coquette Valley, what do you think? Do you have a weapon of the year?
I'm going to go with the Oreshnik because, I mean, those drones, like, I don't think the drones are really the thing you should be afraid of. I think that Oreshnik is going to take out, like, the big ticket, like, targets that really make a difference on the battlefield. The drones are just like a tactical thing.
Upgrade, what do you think?
For me, it's I go a little bit same way like Vaughn goes, but these drones on water, they still don't have a countermeasure to actually do something about it, So they're pretty effective, and nobody finds any, countermeasure to it. So that's something which is still on my list, which I'm waiting for countermeasures, and because the Russians still have their fleet,
they use machine guns. The Russians use machine guns against them. Like,
exactly, but it's pretty trivial, right? It's like we hope to catch them, but they make some damage, right? Not so long time ago, they almost sunk a submarine, again. So they're doing damage, also with the shadow fleets and stuff like that. They can make damage on that. So there's a pretty effective and cost-effective tool for the Ukrainians, which still has no countermeasure to it.
Interesting. Yeah. So for the guys that come in later, so I thought because it's a year in review, right? So I thought we use the awards. I think it's a good way to guide us on like how to review the year, because I think it covers most of the things. And then we can also, of course, anytime we can chit chat about anything, it's still an open mind. It's just like it's nice to go through. Fake news media of the year. Ta-da-da. Which is the fakest news for you this year? Which news outlet piss you off?
I mean, I'd say all the mainstream media mostly. I mean, I picked Fox personally, but that's just because they're so pro-war and on everything. And when I watch their reports on Ukraine and stuff, it's just ridiculous. And not to say that anyone's any better, but that's supposed to be the American news age, truth, justice, the American way, and they're just towing the same line as everybody else and propping bullshit up. Having the worst of the possible generals on there that I don't know what the hell their maps they're looking at or what they see, but it doesn't jive with the reality of what we get to see just by following it. And I mean, fuck, go on Telegram General and watch like a couple weeks worth of videos and figure it out. I mean, it's not to say that there's not days the Ukrainians have good days and bad, the Russians have bad days, but I mean, I kind of look at Fox as probably one of the worst because they really tried to play up to the, pro-American side, rah, patriotic side, and then they push basically their own version of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, you could put anybody on that list. Oh, sorry. Go ahead with your super chat.
Sorry, super chat by Posmu. I've never seen this nickname before. Unspoken democracy of year. China's sales of drone and motors to Ukraine through the Baltics and Poland is what allows it to fight. It'll be over in a month. Okay.
Yeah, just on the media point, you could put any of those mainstream media outlets there and take your pick because they're all the same. Like they all get their same marching orders from whoever their various countries are calling the shots. And I mean, Elon Musk said it best at the beginning of the year. If you recall, he posted something and it was along the lines of, "You're the media now." And what he was saying was, it's people on X, it's people with their cell phones, it's people, out on the street. This is where people get their news from now. They're getting it from social media, whether it be X or TikTok or whatever. Nobody is watching any of this crap anymore. I was just reading, I'm probably the only one. I was just reading on an article in the Telegraph this morning that the BBC had their lowest numbers ever for the holiday season. So that tells you everything you need to know. Nobody is reading any of these channels anymore, not a one. And, the way we get our media, the way we get our news has completely changed. And these guys just haven't kept up. And nobody's tuning into BBC, CNN, any of that anymore. CBS, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I was going to say too, that if you look at like this drama in the conservative sphere with Tucker and Fuentes and Candace Owens and all that and Shapiro, I mean, you look at some of these other guys like Mark Levin and older neocon, maybe 10, 15 years ago, he was hot shit on the radio. He was propped up by Rush Limbaugh, which, that's a major asset to have in your corner. I mean, that guy was, the AM god. And, he talks a lot of shit, but his podcast now doesn't even make in the top 200. He's got a show on Fox and his audience is all boomer people. And you can see how the tide is turning in that. And a lot of people are just tired of the same old line, the same old bullshit, the same old excuses, the same old reasons, the same old enemies, the same old story. And it's the same old guys pushing it. And I think that's another thing that's showing up too is, these guys are not as influential as they used to be. And they talk big because they're in big media, but they don't, like you said, they don't realize they're already dead. They just have their heart quit beating, and like they've been shot 20 times, but they're on PCP. They just don't know it. That they're over. And it's pretty funny to see because a guy like Mark Levin made a lot of threats and a lot of big threats, and it not to say something's not going to happen. It's only been a few months, but the way things are going, I would say he's a laughing stock, and Ben Shapiro's turned into a laughing stock because even a lot of moderate Republican media people turned against him when he started just going off on, how dare you talk to this guy or look at that guy or platform this guy. It's like the idea that these people were platforming someone like Fuentes, who's got, I think on Rumble, 600,000 subscribers. He averages 50,000 a night live viewers. I watched him the other night, and in like 2.5 hours, that motherfucker made $3,000 in super chats. So, he's obviously a force to reckon with, and they can't stand it. His messages resonate. I mean, you can pick through his clips of the hyperbolic, crazy shit, but when you sit down and listen to him talk about the economy or the issues that he's actually concerned about, very well spoken, very, very informed, very, enlightening. If you don't get it, you'll get it after listening to him. And it's just good to see that, not to hype him a lot, but just voices like that, people with good opinions, better ideas, younger, fresh blood, getting out there, getting a lot of play, even though the old media is trying to shut it down and stop it and threaten people. It's not working. So we'll see.
Von, the Fuentes, when he say all those crazy shit, like, did he do it deliberately? Like, he actually, like, maybe he don't really believe in that to that level. Like, maybe in normal time he's a bit more normal. Like when
I think he believes in, I do think he does have a problem with obviously world Jewry, but if you listen to him make the case, he's not saying shit just to make up shit. If he talks about world Jewry, he's going to lay out the Jewish American Congress, this, all these groups that AIPAC and everything else. It's not like he's just talking out his ass. Whatever he's going to talk about, he throws down his arguments. So I would say, he is a racist, or a racialist, you could say. He does not want to live around other races. He might be less, intolerant of like Asians or some Hispanics, but he's obviously made it clear he doesn't want to live around black people. He believes America should be a certain type of culture like the 50s or the 40s. And that's not to say segregation and all that, but he would be pro-segregation. But there's a lot of blacks in America that are at this point pro-segregation. It's easy for him to hit on points that are common sense points. Like everybody likes law and order. Everybody wants a fair shake. Everybody wants the good guy to win. Everybody wants the evil villain to get justice, everybody. So, in that sense, I think he can play to a lot of populist things, and people don't like it because he's effective. So they try to highlight his more inflammatory stuff. And I think a lot of it's, I wouldn't say joking. I just don't think, like he said, it's 80 years ago. It doesn't affect me. I'm not Jewish, and I have my own problems to worry about. And this thing that you're worried about, that your whole world revolves around, is not my problem. And he's just very blunt about it and direct. And I think that's where a lot of people, he's pro-Holocaust or he really literally doesn't want to fucking hear about it anymore because it was 80 years ago. Like you saw when the guy said something about the Holocaust, what, too soon? It's been 80 years, pretty much everybody that was, involved in that is dead or should be by now or close to it. So it's like, and I think that's the harshness of it. They don't realize that he's a 27-year-old guy. He wants a wife. He wants a family. He wants a country that he recognizes. He doesn't give a shit about some Nazi dude in Europe 80 years ago. And people think that sounds harsh, but that's kind of where he's at, I think, on it. He's got real problems to deal with, and he doesn't care about someone else's problem that was in the past.
Well, I think the other thing about guys like Fuentes and stuff, the arguments against these people, they don't work anymore, right? So the traditional argument against somebody like Fuentes is like, oh, you're a horrible racist. Oh, you're an anti-Semite. You're this, you're that. And he'll be the first one to say, yeah, okay. Now that we're past the name calling, argue with me on my points, right? And they don't like that. And I see that that's been happening quite a bit in the last several years because all these globalist scumbags, they can't justify their arguments anymore. So the only thing they have left is name calling and trying to divide people that way. And that's just not working anymore. Like everybody in this day and age is an anti-Semite. Everybody's a racist. Everybody's this, everybody's that. Like it's just lost all meaning to the point where none of that matters anymore. And it's like, yeah, you can call me that because you don't have an argument. And people see through it now, right? So you can call people all these names all you like. All that means is you don't have an argument, right? So Fuentes, whether you agree with him or not, at least he has an argument and he's willing to stand for that argument, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you
That's about all I
to that
know.
point exactly, I mean, you look at him. You know, just to stay on him because there's other guys that have made the same offer. But you know, it's like on the points, like you know, like you said, oh, you've called me all these names. Okay, that's fine. I'm cool with that. That label's not going to kill me, so we can talk about my points. And Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro absolutely will not debate him on any of his points about foreign aid or, you know, aid to Israel or the influence of the lobbying or any of the legitimate concerns that he has about Israel or foreign governments or foreign policy or a war with Iran. All they want to do is, you know, like you said, anti-Semite, anti-this, you know, Nazi. And it's like, that shows you right there. It's like, because, you know, they'll say, both of those guys will say, well, I don't debate Nazis. I'm so smart. I'll wipe the floor. And it's like, you got people on both sides of the aisle here in the States, like Cenk Younger, a total libtard. And, you know, somebody on the far right saying, yeah, you know, if that's how you feel about it, why don't you go do it? Put your money where your mouth is. Go debate him. You know, if his ideas are shit, go make him look like shit on a debate. You know, he was willing to show up at Turning Point USA and debate you live on stage. If his ideas are garbage and you got the facts and his facts are garbage, you could trash Nick Fuentes live on the air in front of probably 1 million motherfuckers would watch that shit easily. And that would be the end of Nick Fuentes. But they don't do it. And that's the thing. And people see that and they're just like, yeah, this is just – it's why he can get away with saying the N-word or whatever. But it's like, nobody cares, dude. It doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, big deal. I said that word. That guy said it 6 times. That guy said it 20 times. That guy's saying it right now. I mean, who gives a shit? You know, it's like – I think they can't really deal with that attitude. Like the older people, like – they can't deal with it. Like Pierce Morgan and them, they couldn't deal with the fact that he was like, okay, I'm a racist. Can we move on now?
Yep, exactly. And it shouldn't be a shock to people. I mean, if you're a man, you've spent the last 15 years being called toxic. So, you know, we're just fed up with it all. Everybody's just fed up with the name calling because it just means that you don't have an argument. So, you know, fuck off. Come up with an argument.
I mean, earlier today in the voice chat, there was a raging ass argument. People were just fucking yelling and screaming. But, you know, at the end of the day, we're still all in there trying to figure out ideas or come up with a solution or something, even if it, you know, sometimes it's just, you know, shit going on. But, you know, even here, everybody's from all over the place. And it's like, you know, we ain't got no power, you know, and nobody's going to listen to us. But it's like we still sit here and talk about something that's going on and ways to fix it, or, you know, hey, why don't they do this? These guys got all the money, all the brains, but they always seem to pick the wrong thing. You know, and like with what you said, it's nothing's going to change there.
Yeah. To this topic, to fake news, and to all this topic which you discussed before with Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro, if the news medias would accurately present the news with facts and logic and without bias, then Nick Fuentes wouldn't even exist, because there would be no need for him to be here, because the news will accurately describe the situation neutrally and give the basic facts, and then people can decide by themselves. But because, like mentioned by my counterparts here underneath, they just lie and try to present people as some certain fringe, even if they didn't even hear the arguments. that makes people go in this niches, in this extreme niches. Is it left extreme or right extreme? And then you don't need to be surprised when they come and start to be so successful, because nobody's listening to you anymore. Now they go to these people to listen to the news because they said some things which you never dare to say, right? Like the mentioned thing like with Piers Morgan, when he is clearly arguing on a bad faith with some topics, and he's in some points he has a point. It doesn't mean that I agree with him or I don't agree with him. In some points he has a right point, and Piers just don't want to accept that because he is so fixated on this. Oh, you said that Hitler was a cool guy. What is this? Like he said to him, it has a. I understand what he mean in a certain point, right? That obviously, if you say Hitler is a cool guy, you have some questions to answer, right? But on the other side, what it has to do with the topic, with the point which he's addressing right now, you're just deflecting because you don't have an argument right now to make him, to the audience, broad audience, to make him look like he's a fucking lunatic, and you shouldn't listen to his point, right? And the Ben Shapiro is the same, right? It's, for me, it's not fake news. It's like the worst performing news for him, right? Because he was very high at the beginning against cancel culture and stuff like that. He was one of the first to address these points, right? But now he's just a whiny, Israeli apologist all the time, talking about Israel. Nobody cares about Israel. You're an American. You should talk about American stuff, not about Israel. And you're always saying that Israel should don't need help from the US, and then after you begging that the US should give more money to the Israelis to defeat Hamas and stuff like that. So he just shoot himself in the foot, right? And he was also about free speech all the time. And then when actually somebody's talking about some of his topic which he don't like to talk about, then he needs to be cancelled or don't need to be listened to because they're anti-Semite and so on and so forth. And like Nunia said, people had enough of this because we've been taught like 10 years right now that people are racist, Nazis, homophobes, and so on and so forth. And now people don't listen to it anymore. There is no switch anymore. It's not anything bad anymore to say. It's like, oh, he's that, or maybe he had something to say, which I could listen to, what has nothing to do with this, because the mainstream media is labeling people like that to make them look bad, right? They don't even listen to the argument. They don't want to interact with the argument. I had many, I seen some clip like not so long time ago about some journalist who argued with some couple, very conservative, who has a lot of kids and stuff like that, about about differences in DNA and stuff like that in different kinds of people, And she didn't want to listen to the argument. She was just like, oh, but that's just some people who say that, and there's no study for that and stuff like that. And I'm like, just listen to the argument and let the people decide at home. You don't need to bring your bias in the argument, in the interview. Let it be done by the public. The public is not dumb. They can figure it out by themselves, So that's why the fake news lost so much. And fake news is from Trump, right? It started, for me, when I hear fake news, it's for me CNN, 100%. It's labeled CNN, fake news CNN. For me, is number one. After, you can talk about other topics and move on maybe.
Well, I was going to say on that, I mean, look in the United States, when there's terrorist acts or shootings, it's like if they don't report immediately, oh, it was a white guy with an AR, everyone's like, oh, it must be a black guy, must be an Arab guy, must be a Mexican guy, and they always try to hide that shit. There's done stupid shit like George Zimmerman and when he, Trayvon Martin, they called him white Hispanic. They lightened his picture to make him look more white, even though he was a Mexican guy, and that kind of shit just feeds into the whole distrust of the media. It's like, well, if you won't tell me what's going on, I guess I'll have to figure it out. And most people are going to figure out the worst. And like you were saying, if you just report the news fairly, unbiasedly, people can decide for themselves, like, hey, it looks like black people are kind of dangerous. I should probably not be around a big wild group of young guys, or, whatever's going on wherever you live, instead of, oh, it's a mostly peaceful protest. And, oh, okay, let's go down and have a picnic. And then you get beat up and tear gassed and watch half the town burn down. I mean, it's shit like that people are, on top of that, people are just tired of mostly peaceful protests, protesters who aren't, are literally rioting and shooting guns off and fireworks and,
And there's more of that one.
I mean, it's all,
right?
it's just like, it's so
It's a
many
fatigue
things they've
of
done.
People, people are tired of seeing things going on, who are not just like people getting attacked, or raped, or or taken advantage, like the Somalia thing in Minnesota, and just cannot say anything about it because these people have a certain skin color. That's over. We should be equal. So if somebody does something wrong, it doesn't matter if he's white, black, or he's an alien. He did something wrong, and we should able to normally talk about it. If somebody is taking hundreds of millions of US dollar and making fraud out of it, it doesn't matter if they're Somalis or not. They should be taken care of. They should be, either if they are not, US citizen and they have just a permanent stay here, they should get in prison or deported. That's not a very controversial thing, I think so. But some people, they're still in this mind bubble that, oh no, you cannot talk about it because maybe he's a racist because if they are different skin color than me. No, it's ridiculous. It's a fucking dumb argument. And we shouldn't even talk about this kinds of thing, So that's, the people are tired of that. Mostly in the Western world, they're tired of that. They're tired of just listening to this dumb fucking woke people who always say, oh, you cannot say that and that because this people has another ethnicity or something like that. We're tired of it. We just want to live in peace like everybody else, And it's also a detriment to all the good assimilated, foreigners who come to our country and work hard and contribute to the society.
Super
trying
chat.
to, by the way.
Super chat by Joe Stone. Thanks for a great year of discussion and great minds of diverse viewpoints. Thanks, Wyatt. Thank you. Thanks to all the co-hosts and contributors. Thank you, Joe Stone. DPA Open Mic, cannot be DPA Open Mic without, every speaker that came on. Me alone is just DPA. It's not DPA Open Mic. So, yeah. So fake news media of the year. Yeah. So, what's the next topic? Oh, what is the best news media of the year? I just want to add on a point on just now what we have discussed is that I also realized that while we are the news now, like the people, the civilians are the news now, I still feel like there is the need for a proper news media. Like in the end, we still have to reference something to to quote our source. Then I realized that is a big problem. So far, I mean, on the Asian side of things, it's not that bad. We have a lot of media that from Japan, from Singapore, that is like credible. But in the Western sphere, that it become a big problem. Like in the United States, I don't even know who is the media that is really can trust. Like on the Asian side, we have quite a number of some Japanese media are really good. Singapore media is not bad. So best news media, in terms of the words, people put Telegram. So yeah, Telegram is a news source, and then X and RT, got high.
I picked Gray Zone just because I like the way they cover stuff and they're investigative and they're kind of alternative. And a lot of the mainstream media doesn't like them, so they must be doing something good. And I think they lost one of their guys, maybe not this year, but last year or early this year. I think he was killed in Africa covering the Russian stuff down there. But yeah, I like those guys. They seem pretty legit. They cover good stories. They get stories you don't usually see. And, a lot of the other ones, I mean, they're all good to one degree or another. But, like RT, that's, to me, I would just say propaganda. Even though they might be telling the truth, it's the main state news channel. So that's why I picked Gray Zone. I figure alternative media, they're semi-independent.
I would say RT, as long as it's nothing to do with Russia, their journalism is actually pretty good. Like really, like they do proper journalism from my experience of following them. But when anything to touch with Russia related, oh my god, they just glaze Russia, and then in terms of United States, sometimes it's okay to watch RT to understand the real problems happening in the United States. Like they are very honest about the problems in Europe, in United States. So it's a good place to watch what is the problems. Like in fact, because I used to watch RT a lot, went out a lot longer, like maybe 2014, 2015. The main reason is because the news media cannot be watched anymore. Like, US media was like total rubbish. And then I started to watch RT, and then they are reporting about Syria, about Donbass, and they were reporting about US, and it's through RT's reporting I realized Trump is going to win the election, because of they reported about the middle United States, where all the cities are falling apart, the towns are falling apart, then they have the hurricane, and then nobody went to it was never fixed. Like, I think all these problems, and I realized that, if this is the United States, then Trump is going to win. Like, if that is the problem, because that means Americans are struggling, and then it turned out to be correct. Trump won. So there is benefit to RT. However, you cannot depend on them to understand Russia. You can only use them to understand the announcement, the what is declared. But they are still very super duper pro Russia. They are Russian media. Yeah, so that's what I think.
I go back to, I find that I end up reading all of this stuff just to try to get a balanced picture of what this real news actually is. So, I'll check out CNN, I'll check out BBC, I'll go on RT, I'll go on CGTN, Times of India, you name it, right? Wherever I can find news sources on a topic, I'll read them all, because that's the only way I find that I get all the facts. Now, and then from there, an overall kind of aggregator of news. I think Telegram and X are both very good for that sort of stuff. If I want to find something really quickly on a topic, or if I want to find a video that I know the mainstream media won't post, then yeah, I know that I'll find it on Telegram. I know that I'll find it on X. But in general, yeah, I tend to read a lot more news than I probably should, because our news media quit doing their job about 20 years ago. So that's what you got to do nowadays.
Great. What do you think?
Yeah, I usually, when I go to news, like traditional news, I go to Swiss media, because they are very neutral. They don't give a shit, they just, okay, that's the facts, believe what you want. Then, next topic, how's the economy doing, how far did we throw the cheese, from the mountain or something like that, like some basic dumb fuck shit, But no, they are pretty neutral. They try to, I look at it and it's really neutral. For me, it's the best one. I cannot
Is
watch.
RT banned? Is
Pardon?
RT banned in Switzerland? RT.
RT is banned in Switzerland. Yes, it's banned.
You see, Singapore is have more freedom of speech than you guys, man.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
banned in
true.
Singapore.
Yeah, we had also sanctions against Russia. We have the most sanction against Russia.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are so neutral.
On this part, we're not neutral, but we don't talk a lot about this war anymore. It's just like most of it is about United States. Economical ties. With European Union, we talk about business more than we talk about war. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ukraine war is a dying topic. Like, I can literally see it in my views. Like, not just in my views, you can see it through on military summaries view. Like, military summary is now the biggest in terms of English, neutral to pro-Russia audience. They are the biggest one, and they eat up all the audience, like, because of the size. And you can see that their viewership is also not that high, as compared to like maybe 1 year ago. So it is a dying thing. So
And what about
I
the
think it will continue to
Ukrainian
decline.
sources? What about the Ukrainian sources, which is the highest one?
Even pro-Ukraine viewership has dropped like 3 times. Like, Dennis Davidos used to get like 900,000 to 1 million views per video. Now
What?
he's getting like maybe 300,000 at most, I think. I haven't checked for a long time, so I'm not sure. Let me see. I also not too sure. Let's see. Does it appear? It doesn't appear there. Okay, so Dennis Davidoff. Let me see what is his last videos viewership. I also not sure. Dennis 176,000 8 hours ago. Let me see, find something that 1 day ago. 232,000. 232,000 compared to like in his when he's at his peak, that was like 900,000 a day at least, you know. So it definitely have fallen a lot. Johari said, "Don't worry, Zelensky will make it relevant again." Ah, no doubt, man, no doubt. So military summary is getting like 100,000. Yeah, so my videos are like 10,000 only. Like I'm struggling to get more than I'm struggling to get to 20,000 for Ukraine war videos. So
you can
So
clearly
it-
see there's a trend, right? Who's going down
Yeah.
for interest-wise, right? For this war, right? This is not anymore.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
military summary 1 year ago was like getting, so I think he getting 150,000 or 100,000 to 150,000 average. But he used to get 300,000, right? Like when like a year ago, you know, when he was like he was dominating already, you know, 1 year ago. So like he was getting like almost 300,000. So the interest has fallen like tremendously. Not to mention how the algorithm works, you know, that is another thing altogether. But no, interest has fallen. So I think I'm expecting more to fall to next year. So definitely on my side, no, I'm definitely pivoting to cover more news. Go back to what I like, you know, to cover geopolitical news, you know, news all around the world. I think it's more interesting, but it's a bit hard to get viewership. But I will see what I can do. So yeah, because Ukraine war also is quite boring for me as well. You know, after a while, it's like fuck, 1,400 days of like the shit, you know. So it's also quite sick for me. Like I don't watch Ukraine war stuff myself. So anyway, yeah, best news media, I would say is X. I depend on X on a lot of news. Like if it's breaking and important news, it will appear on X on my feed. So so that's how it is. So joke country of the year. Which country is the joke to you? Which is the jokest country of the year in 2024? 2025.
Right.
So no, this the candidates here. The top four is USA, Ukraine, United States, and European Union.
Well, I mean, shouldn't the UK just be default
Yeah,
as the biggest joke every year? Because
yeah, but there's a lot of anti-Ukraine people. DPA community got a lot of anti-Ukraine people, so they voted Ukraine very high. But I don't think Ukraine is a joke. I think Ukraine has done really well. They really tried really hard to do, like, you know, everything is going against them this year. So, you know, they have been doing their best. The UK is like becoming a joke. That's I agree. You know, the kind of like, you know, censorship that they are putting on their own people is insane. But you know, I also saw UK people, you know, defending and saying, no, this doesn't exist. It's not real. So I'm not sure what's happening. Nunya, what's your joke country of the year?
Well, the UK has to be on my list because they're just such a silly country now. It's hard not to laugh at them. Like just yesterday, I was reading an article about how they've got new guidelines for stunning lobsters before you boil them. So it's not humane to boil a lobster alive, according to the British. So now what you got to do is stun them somehow, give them a concussion, I guess, before you put them in the boiling water, so it'll be more humane. This is literally the shit that these people are coming up with over in the UK. It's hard not to laugh. You know, it really is. So yeah, UK, you guys, anybody there, you're finished. Just get out of there while you can. The whole island is going for shit, and yeah, it's not looking good for the British folk. They'd be my pick. It's hard to trump the British people when it comes to just being completely stupid and silly. So I'll pick the UK.
Upgrade. What is the joke country of the year for you?
It's not a joke country, it's an entire apparatus. The European Union is a joke. It's a joke, and it's been a long time a joke, and it's getting more ridiculous every year. And we need to have a different European Union. I think the European Union was a good idea at the beginning, but now it's just a censorship machine, you know, who just imposes from top down, and there's no individual place for countries to, you know, have a different path than what Brussels is dictating. So it's actually just a dictatorship disguised as a democracy, and always, you know, lecturing other countries on what they should do or what not, but by themselves not being much better, you know. So for me, European Union is number one.
Vaughn, for you,
I would go with the EU just for all the nonsense with Russia, and the UK with all the censorship and anti-British government. I mean, those two are just ridiculous. Both entities are a joke. I mean, there's other ones, but I mean, as far as their effects on the world, it's probably those two, the UK and the EU.
that's quite so sad, right? UK left the EU so that they can stop being a joke, and then they become a bigger joke. So like you know, what's
We're
the
both
point
jokes.
of Brexit? What's the point of Brexit? You're still a joke, you know, when you leave it. The next category was disappointment. Which country have disappointed you the most? Like maybe they have like a lot of potential, but they fail. They disappointed you.
I had Iran. I don't think they lived up to the hype, and they got spanked. I mean, it's debatable how much they really did to Israel. I mean, either they did and it's been heading really well, or it really wasn't all that great. So I don't know. But yeah, I'd say they got spanked pretty good and embarrassed.
Nunya, which country disappointed you the most?
Besides my own, I'll go with Denmark, because here you've got a country, Friedrichsen, she is about as anti-Russian as you'll get. She's always the first one on the NATO stage, looking to send weapons, whatever. Meanwhile, you've got the United States threatening to invade Greenland and take it over, and these bunch of Euro faggots are doing nothing about that. So Denmark, you know, stick up for yourself. That's all.
Upgrade. Which country you're disappointed?
Yeah, you know, it's gonna be my second home. You know, it's always when I see how it becomes. You know, every year I go there. You know, for you know, visiting my relatives there, and I see how it gets worse and worse. You know, and it's very sad because when I was smaller, you know, it was a very nice place. You know, even if it changed also a lot, but it was a very nice place, you know, where you was secured, you know. But now, when I talked, you know, to relatives and people who they know also, it's pretty insecure. It's pretty insecure. People don't feel safe, and that's a big problem, you know. And there are people who are not even really very much loving, you know, of the right-leaning party, but they also saying it's getting very unsecured, and people are tired of it, you know, to be always on the edge of, oh, what's going to happen to my kid if I bring it, you know, to the park, you know, if I lose it, or is something going to happen to my kid if it's going, you know, late in the evening in the subway, you know, because it's always like this, you know. So it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing, and the only thing which can make this go away is to bring a little bit order, you know. It's doesn't mean that you need to go Nazi order, you know. You can just be normal order, you know, like just people who do crimes, you know, just put them in jail. People come illegal inside the country, you just let them, you know, apply in their home country or in the first, you know, safe country which they touch the ground in European Union. And about Denmark, they also do good things, like they have a very hard immigration policy. So there is basically zero people who apply for, you know, to go into Denmark because they have such strict rules, you know. I think last year was like around 300 people, 400 people applied to go to Denmark in a year. Before they were like very liberal, you know. So this party of this woman, she's pretty hawkish on Russia, very weak on Greenland, I agree, but on immigration, she's pretty good.
Okay.
How does it work? Like, how does the border work? Like, no, it's freegan zone, right? Like, people can just walk into Denmark. So how do they secure the border?
They control their borders, right? They control their borders. When they arrive, everybody needs to, like, for example, when people arrive, all possessions which they have, like gold or something like that, is confiscated by the state. So it's like, some money which they leave, to the state. So in case something happened or they do, damages they cannot repay, they have like some money for, to repay the state. They're put in some special, places where they need to learn the language, and stuff like that. You can, I can send you
but what I mean is the border. When they enter Denmark,
they just have people who check, who's coming.
So there's a something like a custom border when they enter, let's say, through the highway. There's some sort of custom border.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought
we had previously in Europe.
I don't know. I haven't gone to EU before. I do not know. Because when I read the news, it sounds like as if people can walk in and out.
If you arrive, for example, in the European Union and you arrived, with the legal status to an airport, then you can just travel around everywhere. There's nobody who's going to check you. But there's certain countries who enforce their border better than others, right? For example, France, if I go to France, it's just 5 minutes away from here by car. Nobody's there at the border. Germany, if you go with the public transportation, because we have direct public transportation who is connected to Germany, they halt at the border. Police comes in and they check your ID. If you have an ID, a valid ID, to come back to Switzerland. Because you're coming to Germany to buy, usually we buy groceries because it's cheaper in Germany or in France. And the Germans, they have now, they made it a little bit tougher. But previously, no, everybody could go in and out. You could take drugs. You can take 50 kilos of meat if you wanted. Nobody cared, and but now it's a little bit more strict. But
so there is border. So there is a border, but it's up to them to whether they want to enforce.
Yeah.
So you are talking about like Denmark and Poland, like they still enforce the border as if they are like a separate country, in a way.
Yes.
Just that they don't chop the passport.
It's like Upgrade said, it really depends on level of enforcement. Like, for example, I remember driving from Norway to Denmark once. No one checked me. I just drove across the bridge, and nobody ever checked me. But maybe they've, clamped down on that a bit, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I can send you a nice documentary how they changed over the years, right? How the party actually is a pretty left-leaning party who took the right-leaning party's ideas to themselves because they didn't want the right-leaning party to have the power. So they took the ideas of immigration to them, and then they forced it, and they got the power because guess what? They're doing something, right? If you do something, people will vote for you. If you don't do something, people will not vote for you. And they made the gamble. Instead of having a right-leaning party in power, they preferred the left-leaning party to take over the ideas of the right-leaning party. So they have them, and they can enforce them how they want, a little bit less strict than the right-leaning party would have done it. But they have the power, and they can decide on other things.
So complicated, man.
It's not complicated. It's just take
the
good ideas from the opposite party and just make them yourself, and then.
No, I'm talking about the movement of people. Like how the government even control the people. Like how do you track the population? They just go everywhere.
I mean, it's pretty simple. You have an island, right? People can fly or come by boat. By us, it's just land, by boat, by air, right? By air, it's pretty simple because most of the time you're not getting inside the airplane if you don't have proper paperwork, right? But if you come by car, for example, if you enter the European room, right, it's free zone. So you can enter all the countries, you can go around everywhere, nobody's going to check you. But some countries said, oh my God, so many immigrants come, like Hungary, right, or Serbia, or Poland, and they put actually their police force around their borders because it's still their borders, right, European Union borders, but their country's borders. So they put around their borders their police. They enforce them like we had previously, right? Before the European Union. That's it. Not very difficult.
Okay, I think I need to travel to EU to understand.
You will see if you come
Yeah.
to my country. I can go with you. You can go in 10 minutes. We can go millions of countries. Yeah.
Because how I think I was wondering how they even make policies, because you don't even know where your population goes to. Like they just disappear. They just like melt away into other countries. So it's like, how do you even do policies? So that's just my random thought. Okay, never mind. So yeah, so disappointment. So we covered this, right? I think I voted for Germany and UK, I think. So yeah, the Europeans. Villain. Who is the villain of the year?
I know who it is.
I'm not gonna say. I mean, when I saw the question, I was talking to Steve, Sweeper Steve, and
It's not real.
We both laughed and we didn't even say anything. We both know who's gonna win. So that's
it's not real. Right? It's not real.
Everybody out there knows who the fuck's gonna win. So whatever.
It's definitely totally unreal. No, it's unreal. So okay, we don't have to talk about that. No. Military of the Year, Russia. I mean, this also no need to talk about it. It's like quite.
What? So much? That's hugely biased. Come on.
You can see how pro Russia the Singapore the DPA's community is insanely pro Russia.
I think we should give props to Yemen. So I'm going to vote for Yemen. They did a whole lot with very little. So they deserve to be the Military of the Year.
True. Okay, so, what is the company or brand of the year for you? This is something less geopolitical, that is more business. I think BYD is one of the. I think to me it's one of the brand of the year. BYD, I think OpenAI, Nvidia. Like there's quite a number of candidates for this year. It's like quite insane. Like BYD just dominates the whole car market in the world, like the whole world. So Nvidia is like making insanely good
that's
bets.
what I picked. I picked Nvidia because I figure that's the big one this year. One of them anyway.
Yeah. Palantir did very well as well.
I don't know the name of the company, but I don't think they're on here. But I'm going to pick the company that developed DeepSeek. And that led to a bunch of other open source models. So it doesn't get a whole lot of press now, but I think what effectively the Chinese have done have made the whole open AI business model non-existent now. So I think we're going to have a big problem here in the West. We're going to have a whole lot of data centers with no use for them. So whatever that company was, Hangzhou DeepSeek Artificial. Yeah, there we go. What?
Yeah,
guys, okay, Chinese people, you guys need to name your companies better. Like, this is ridiculous. Come up with a better name than that.
Better marketing.
You need better marketing.
This is Hangzhou. Hangzhou is the province. Hangzhou DeepSeek, AI basic, technology.
Just rolls off the tongue.
This is too long. It's too long. Make it nice, Make it like Americans, Make it.
It's very. It's not a brand, It's basically just the actual Chinese name, Hangzhou's DeepSeek.
Just call it DeepSeek.
AI technological company.
Call it
Chinese,
DeepSeek. Okay, so that'd be my pick. The Hangzhou region, whatever, fucking it up. Yeah.
Upgrade.
Yeah, I would also agree with OpenAI, obviously. Nvidia, I both have some shares, so I'm a little bit biased on that. But the next one, maybe next year, is SpaceX, which are going to be also something crazy, It's people who have Tesla, shares can maybe get some previous access, like premium access to actually buy SpaceX shares.
Your Nvidia stock 3 times or 4 times?
I will not disclose that. That's a very good. It's a very good number.
It's a very good number.
I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with U.S. stocks. Thank you very much. You made my year very good. I'm very happy.
So now you guys know why Upgrade is so pro Trump. MAGA.
I love him about that. Elon Musk also. Thank you, Elon.
Oh yeah, without Elon Musk, there's no MAGA, man. I think Elon Musk buying of Twitter changed everything. Like literally changed everything. I think even DPA I think is kind of like slightly indebted to Elon Musk because I would DPA would have been sanctioned to hell, man. Like it will be like totally kicked out of YouTube because of X. It made it forced every other social media to be competitive. They cannot just censor people, right? They have to compete. Country of the year, of course, the pro-Russia people vote Russia, but let's say not Russia. Which country?
Yemen, no question. Yeah, I mean, this is a bunch of people who have nothing, who were fighting because they thought it was their moral duty to fight with the Palestinian people, and they had no reason to do it other than that. And for that, they deserve our thanks and our praise. They are no question the country of the year in my book.
I saw some rumors that they are thinking about a possible breakup of the Yemen country into two. Like they have the Houthis will stay as Yemen, the other one will be changed to South Arabia. But I'm not sure if it's legitimate. I haven't dig into it. I just simply saw some of these people starting to do this hashtag South Arabia, which is I think is a good idea. Because there's no point. The two sides can't beat each other. Might as well just be separate countries. I think that's a good idea. And the Houthi Yemen will have a bigger population. And then the this new country have a smaller population but bigger land mass, but mostly it's desert. So I think it's a fair breakup, of the country. Vaughn, other than Russia, country of the year.
I picked the U.S. just because I live here, and Trump's got a lot of pans on the stove. There's a lot of potential out there, so I'm hoping all these plans and schemes, I hope some of them start coming to fruition in 26. So we'll see. I mean, I just picked that because he's tried to do so much this year, and if half of it works out, it'll be amazing. So we'll see.
For disclosure, no, I'm very consistent. I say that I'm pro Singapore, so I voted Singapore. And if not Singapore, I will be pro United States, which I voted United States. The two countries I voted. So, yeah, which to me is like the Singapore. Actually, if it can't necessarily be the country of the year because Singapore have a really pathetic year, like geopolitically, it's totally irrelevant. But no, United States has been like making waves. So I think next year will be a crazy year for United States. I got a feeling like this will be an insane year. Unfortunately, I have no money to invest. I wish I have money to invest, but I have no money. I can only talk about it. Yeah. Upgrade.
Yeah,
Which
I'm
one's
always going
country?
with the same country for Switzerland because if you see all the metrics, it's an amazing country. It's very
Switzerland?
difficult to get in. Yeah, it's difficult to get in. It's hard work. It's difficult to get a job because the market is so competitive. But when you get a job, when you establish yourself here, taxes low, security, if you buy a property here, it's just going to increase, If you look at the Swiss franc, one Swiss franc is 130 USD. When my father was young, he went to the United States. It was $1 was 15 Swiss franc. And my father is not 80 years old. He's not even, he's very near his retirement age. So in 40 years, Switzerland made it's crazy, It's crazy how much money and how wealthy this country became with 7 million people. It's so small, And the weirdest part, European Union, this big, we want to become very strong and very powerful. We're in the middle. We're the best example. Just look at us. Just take the fucking shit. But obviously, we know, we discussed it already many times. You cannot take over things which happen in one country and duplicate it in another because it's more nuanced than that. But at least take some things, some things work, But yeah, Switzerland, and obviously, I would say, yeah, China. China is because I've been in China, and for me, when I saw how China, my wife was in China when China was not like with big towers and people talked about it, and it was like the new thing. My wife went there like 10, 15 years ago, and she studied there, and when China was like basically nobody talked about it, was nothing, and then she saw the evolution and she showed me pictures, and you can see how it's crazy how they evolve and how competitive they are. Even how this what I have criticism about China, but they're a competitor, a big competitor to the United States.
Imagine I went to Beijing when I was like 13 years old. That was
Really,
like
go back, you will
almost
see it like this.
almost 30 years ago. That China is gone. No, like Great Wall of China. Like every time you go there, it's like flooded with people. You can't really see anything. When I went there was like not many people, and I went to the Great Wall of China, like near to Beijing, so Pataling, that area. So I was like, I go there, I can really enjoy the views and everything. Then after that, after China become rich, like just went insane. Like this people go to the Great Wall, they can't see shit. They just see each other's backside.
And they have this part now. They made the modern part where they rebuild it, nicely for tourists. But I wanted to go where is the original one, where it's broken down because of wind and all that stuff. And you can see it's a masterpiece. Imagine how many people had to do that, just to make a barrier because of the waterfalls and all this stuff.
A lot of people die doing that. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, I gotta head out for a little bit. I'll be back later.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
But also it has no hutongs, for example. These hutongs, which you maybe saw, where it was in the middle of Beijing, they're all gone. They bought out the land from the people. They made them go out, and they rebuild it and then give them again the apartments. So China changed a lot.
Okay, let's move on to the most attractive person of the year. And we have upgrade. There. You got 17 votes.
Jesus, I got 17 votes. Shit.
Okay,
you're ranked number 4.
Make it 18. I'm voting for upgrade as well. It goes without saying that he's
How
more
can you beat Sydney
handsome than
Sweeney?
Marlon
Come on.
I can't beat Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney. It's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, not even history legend can beat her. It's like Why is people's obsession with Maria Zakharova? I didn't get it. She's not that pretty. Come on. Oh my God.
The bigger question is the obsession with Marlon Brando. That guy's been dead for 30 years. Like 7 people voted for him. Really?
I have no idea
who is this Maria Zakharova? Who is this?
She's
This
the
is a spokesman for the Russia.
Yeah. She's the foreign ministry spokesman.
Oh, okay.
Blonde-headed woman.
Okay.
Maybe the Marlon Brando is like the inside joke that we don't understand. I'm not sure.
I guess
when
so.
I first saw the name, I was like, what the fuck? I don't even know who is this person. I'm too young for this person. I don't understand. Yeah, so
who's Sue Winchy? I gotta look this person up now.
Yeah.
Hey, on that Marlon Brando, that's supposed to be Marlon Rando from the open mic. Marlon.
Too bad.
Marlon Rando was. We were trying to tell you when you were typing it was Marlon Rando, but you just said Marlon Brando. And I did. I was like,
who is this person?
And I voted for upgrade, so I did my duty. You sexy motherfucker.
Okay, so this is like a fun one. Then we have the content creator of the year or expert of the year. Do you guys have any in your mind, like who?
Well, I gotta go for Candace Owens. I mean, she took her channel from nothing to the most popular channel on in the world apparently. And she's what everybody's talking about. So, it's hard not to put her on.
It's a surprise no one nominated her. I was surprised that no one nominated her. So, because I don't intervene, so it's like purely community, but no. It's a surprise that, no. No one
Rest of these
nominated her,
people,
so-
I don't even know who half of them are. Like, I know who Glenn
Yeah.
Deason is. I know Willie AOAM, Alex Craner,
Dave Smith, you know, also.
Dave
Yeah.
Smith. Yes, I've heard of him. But that's it. The rest of them, no,
Yeah.
Candace Owens for sure.
I have to search who is susu.jpg, you know.
No idea.
It-
No.
It's some
Don't search for it. Don't
sim
search for it.
content.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
It's not a trap, you know, but it's like it's still safe for work, but it's like, you know, sexy girl. Yeah, so yeah. So History Legend is gonna win. That's good. My dear friend. So joke of the year. This time around this is a person. So who is the joke of the year? Like for you guys. Like person, individual. The vote is very close though.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, so many jokes. So many jokes. No, I have no idea actually. Personally, I also not too sure like who is the joke of the year. Like as an individual, who looks like a joke. I think some European leaders, but but the thing is, there's so many of them, and they are
Yes.
like all too small. They're very small, like because they're all parts of the EU. So it's like a lot of jokes, but then they're all not individually big enough. So yeah, so I also not too sure who. Yeah, but yeah is not relevant in 2025. Like maybe 2024-ish, 2023, yeah is like, you know, the biggest joke.
Yeah, it's a good
Like-
question. Like, who in 2025 made the biggest ass of themselves?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And you're right. It's difficult to pick out a European leader because they're also.
No,
Huh?
Macron, he got slapped. He got egg on his face. You know, there's so many things. You know, come on.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
he
give it to
married
you,
a
man.
dude.
Macron.
You know, he's married to a dude. No, but
Yeah.
like to Wyatt's point, all the Euro leaders are all kind of coalesce into one blob of a person. So it's difficult to pick just one because they're all so goddamn silly. That's a good question, though. I mean, and Trump would be the obvious logical pick because he's always saying stupid stuff, but you expect that of him. So it's not really that funny anymore. God, this is a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because when I was like trying to vote myself, I was like, shit, man, who would I have voted? I was like, I have no freaking idea. It's like, it's really difficult. Maybe I will go for Greta Thunberg, but you know, Greta Thunberg is not big enough. Like, she's just a joke for like once, like, you know, because of that flotilla going to Palestine. But it's like, yeah, I have no idea, man. This is a very interesting vote. So that's why it's so competitive. Like you have Zelensky only slightly in the lead from
Kallas
Trump,
also.
Macron, and
Kallas.
Shapiro. So Kaja Kallas maybe,
He's also.
but she's also not big enough. She's not big enough. Like
Yeah, but she says a lot of shit.
yeah, foreign minister of EU, man. He represents
Yes.
you know.
She said Russia didn't play a role in the Second World War.
But how
like-
would such a young person be the foreign minister of the whole bloc? Oh yeah. And funnily, this thing comes from if it's come from her husband, which earns the money from Russia. So she took Russian money to shit on Russia. That would be funny. Okay, let's move on to the disappointment of the year. This is a bit different. Like it's not a joke. Like, it's more like you have great hopes for this person, but he failed you. I think a lot of people voted Trump. I think the Americans, a lot of Americans definitely felt disappointed with Trump, especially if they have a great hope that Trump will like just overthrow the whole country. he already did a lot, but no. Yeah, he's not the one. No, the one is his son. The son will become the emperor of the United States. No, the Baron Trump, Emperor Baron Trump of the empire of United States, but not Trump. Trump is a bit too. Trump believes in the Constitution too much. So, do you have a disappointment of the year?
I mean, yeah, Trump is just as good as any, but I go back to we know exactly what Trump was going to govern like because he did it before. And I said that before the election when he got elected, right? So I'm not disappointed in Trump. I expected all this from this clown. So I wouldn't say he was so much a disappointment to me.
Giuliani, how about the Syrian president? Is he a
Nah,
disappointment?
no, God, no. He's a head chopper. You can't expect much from a head chopper.
Actually, Putin should be on this list. I think Putin, for a lot of people, he might be a disappointment for, but yeah, nobody nominated him, so he's not on the list. I think quite a number of people would have been disappointed with Putin, particularly Russians, which expected more from their military. Similar problem with Trump, like people expected more even if they have done a good job. Like, Senai Takaichi, but she got like 90% approval rating in Japan, so yeah, so these clearly are not
Doing
Japanese
something
people.
right. Doing something right.
Villain of the year, Netanyahu have to be the winner. Like this one is
Of
like
course. Of
it's
course.
unreal. It's of course both villain of the year must be won by the same country.
Yeah, it's hard not to pick him. So
Yeah, it's a bit hard. Yeah, even for me, I feel like he's a clear winner. That no leaders are more villainous than him. Unfortunately, even as a neutral, I was like, yeah, who have done more evil than him?
I mean, some people would put Putin also as a villain, right? If you're being honest inside this category. The Western
But he haven't done more
audience
like
would
that.
put Putin as
Yeah, but he haven't done more than in 2024. Like it's the same level. Like it's nothing have changed.
It's still the villain of the show, right? The show must go on with the villain, and Putin is the villain number one with Xi Jinping, and all these guys.
Xi Jinping is not on the list.
If you make this, no, I'm just telling you, if you make this, and you put, random Westerners, making this shit, they will put Putin, Xi Jinping, North Korea, Modi, all these guys, and there will be a total different picture. Just saying.
So, so you guys, it's a compliment. You see, Upgrade say that you guys are not random, white people. You are like specific, exclusive white people, not random. Yeah. Okay, let's move up to worst performing politician or leader of the year. Who failed the most? So disappointment, you can still do well, but you're just disappointing, but worst performing. Kurt Starmer, I voted for Kurt Starmer. This is like a.
There's three for me. There is Merz, there is Macron, and Starmer.
Yeah, those three. Yeah, those three. It's hard to beat those three.
Ursula von der Leyen is very near. Ursula von der Leyen is very near, but
holy shit! The big three country of Europe, the big three country of Europe all have failed. Yeah, that's actually very sad, right? As a European, I mean, even as a non-European, when I look at it, I feel sad for Europe.
It's the reality.
The big three, Germany, France, UK, all is failing. Oh my
no,
God,
you need to be
so
you need to be tough with the people you love, and these people are just a disgrace to European Union and to the countries respectively. And also the approval ratings show it in each individual country. You can see Macron is like at 13%, Starmer is like not far ahead, and Merz is also. So the countries by themselves don't like them, So I'm not, fringe on this thing.
But how are they still in power? Oh my God.
They got elected.
Yeah, I mean Nunya have lost his faith in elections, so I understand. Like no.
mean, at least he has not anymore the beautiful guy from before. He's gone at least. The super boy.
So
Keep
the
'em.
rest is like continental leader of the year. This is like, in the Americas, North, Central, South America, like the leader of the year. Yeah. For me, yeah, I also expected Maduro or Trump would be like, the two, the anti-US and the pro-US, voting against each other.
For me,
And-
Bukele.
I'm gonna go off the board and I'm gonna pick Mamdani because that guy had a really powerful, a really well-funded lobby against him, and he still won by a landslide. So I think that shows that the tide is turning on the Zionist project in the United States. If they threw everything they could at him in New York, and he still won. So I'll pick him. I don't know anything about his politics, but I know what was thrown against him, and he still came out. So more power to him.
Actually, I heard some of his speeches. It's okay. He's just a normal. For me, he's just like a normal, sincere politician. It's just that the ideas is being seen as very socialist, like and then so the immediately the Republicans or conservatives just attack him, but like there's nothing special. Like you can say whatever you want to say in the campaign, but no implementation is another story altogether. Like free buses or whatnot. Yeah, you try to implement and see how it goes. But no, campaign wise, the motivations are right. Reducing the rent and then improving the cost of living. I mean, like there's nothing special about his campaign. I think is all just hits where the people cares about. So I'm very impressed with the way the way he talked and everything. So yeah, and you can see that when he meet Trump actually likes him as well. Because he's just a straightforward guy, and Trump likes him. So they hit it off interestingly. So like that for me, the Trump and Zoran meeting was a good lesson. Although I don't think a lot of people will pick up the lesson. Like in narrative is one thing, but in reality you can see that when you meet face to face, you talk, you can still work together. All this campaign or media talk is just media talk. People shouldn't take it overly seriously. Oh, Nika is here. Give me a second. Hey, Nika. Yeah, we are reviewing 2025.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going.
Yeah,
Do you ever work, man? Come on.
he's wearing his
we are
uniform.
working.
Come on.
I'm wearing my uniform. What can I do?
Yeah.
Save a life. Just don't put the uniform on. Like, actually help people. Get off
I'm
the
in my
open
break.
mic and go help somebody,
Don't
please.
I'm in a break. I have the right to have a break, man. Otherwise, I will kill people.
That's okay. They're all in Montreal.
Oh yeah.
But it's crazy these days, by the way. It's crazy these days. There's a new influenza. People going like mad because of it, and it's weird. It's weird thing, man. I'm telling you. Even this influenza is getting crazy. It's not an influenza. It's something else. We have like a surge of patients. Ugh.
Oh no, time for a lockdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm afraid, because it's work for us. That's the issue.
Nika, we are depending
But-
on you to prevent a pandemic. It's up to
Oh
you
yeah,
now.
me, yeah. I will spread it more, man. Okay, I need
If
to.
you spread it all, if you spread it more, all of us will stuck at home. But you still have to go to work.
Yeah, but I will work. You will be broke. I will be rich.
Ah, fuck.
You need to think of it like that. I will have more extra hours of work, and you guys will be broke. Not you, Wyatt, because war is will going on.
Yeah, more people will be watching YouTube, so no, I will be fine.
I know. It works fine with us for us.
So I was thinking, I think Nayib Bukele to me is one of my votes. for the American leader of the year. I think El Salvador is like insane. I think the footages came out from their Christmas celebration. It's like wow, like that's first world ish. No, first world ish. Upgrade, go upgrade.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, don't forget, this country not so long time ago was infested by criminals, cartels. He took them out. He put this big prison there and put them all in. He invested also as first world leader into Bitcoin, I think. So he's doing a lot of, things which are like 10, 20 years ahead from all other countries, and if he would be in a stronger country, it would be, highlighted more. But because he's like in a, area which people don't talk so much about, and his country is less known, But props to him. He's a very good guy.
But you need to be a dictator to do that. Although you need to have
What's the problem?
dictatorial
Is it
powers.
better to have a dictator? At least you can go out and with your kids, or you want to have no dictator, but then you have fucking cartels running the country as the same dictators, just many of them. Better one than thousands, right? Than to kill.
Be careful.
It was the capital city of murders. Come on, every day there were like 300 shootings and killings, in this capital city. That was not enough. It's not normal.
I don't see it dictatorship. I see it like enforcing law with force. But that's okay. That's normal. You need to enforce law, but dictatorship is crazy, man. You don't want that. 0% because you will get everything.
Right?
Actually, for me, I think he don't give me the feeling of dictatorship. I think he gave me a feeling that he's a king. He's literally like the king of a kingdom, and then his wife and him is like the king and queen, and that's the feeling I get. The kingdom of El Salvador sort of things. So, African leader of the year. Clearly, everybody's going to vote Burkina Faso's leader, Ibrahim Traore. He's the one that kicked off the entire Sahel alliance. Like, of course, a lot of people is going to vote for Adolf Hitler without a doubt. From Namibia. Yeah, he got the best name ever. Like everybody knows his name but don't know his face. Yeah, the rest is like it's not even a close fight, no. So I mean, it's quite obvious.
Wyatt, how AI will do things now because there's two Adolf Hitlers. They're gonna confuse it, the pictures. Imagine now if you search for Adolf Hitler and the black dude is coming out, and people told you all your life that it was a white dude.
Imagine if this guy become like really powerful in Africa. He's gonna be insane. He's like, no, you're gonna be like more famous, and then be like, he's gonna be a mess. It's a bit like the Ronaldo situation. Like you have the Brazilian Ronaldo, then after Cristiano Ronaldo came, then it get very confusing. Like when you say Ronaldo, who are you referring to? But Cristiano Ronaldo won because after that, everybody have to say the Brazilian Ronaldo. They have to say Ronaldo Nazario. They have to like emphasize because when people nowadays say Ronaldo, they think Cristiano. So. For me, I always say Cristiano, So, yeah, but like
I think
Cristiano Ronaldo won.
After he got caught with that transvestite prostitute, I think his career was pretty much done after that. So yeah, everybody just moved on to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. Asia, Xi Jinping got the most vote. Then Kim Jong-un, for some reason, I mean Kim Jong-un actually do pretty well if you ignore his internal, dictatorial whatever nonsense hermit kingdom thingy. Like he actually do very well based on his limitation, and I think, yeah. But the alliance was the year before, so yeah, so one not bad. I mean Kim Jong-un okay. Yeah, it's a very biased vote, so no, I have nothing much to say. Upgrade, what you think?
What about Modi? Is he in?
Yeah, he's number 2 or number 3.
He's number 2. Yeah. Okay.
He's third voted. He lost to the dictators. He need to be more dictatorial.
Well, I'd agree with President Xi as being the top for sure. I mean, he had a pretty big year. And then Modi, I'll also agree. And I go back to that SCO summit where Modi and Xi and Putin met, and how I told you guys earlier on that I think history will show that that was a much more important summit than we're currently giving it press for. But keep in mind, and I mentioned this to Bradley the other day on when we were doing our year-end thing, and I said, had India joined the collective West in the sanctions game against Russia, we would have a completely different outcome of the war. And the fact that they didn't, I think history will, look kindly on Modi. And I think, once the truth comes out of what was going on behind the scenes, I think you're going to see that India was heavily, heavily, heavily pressured, and Modi didn't cave. And because he didn't cave, the whole trajectory of what the West plan was went up in smoke, because it wouldn't have happened without India or it would have happened with India on board. But as soon as India said, no, we're going to, look out for our own interests, that was it. That was the whole ball game. That was the SWIFT nuclear option went to shit.
I think we don't even need to wait until the war is over or more details come out. Trump put tariffs on India because they're buying, Russian oil. So there was clear, pressure from outside to make him not buy the Russian oil, but he didn't cave. Like you said, he just kept going on because it was in his interest, and that's what the European Union should do, in his interest of his country to actually buy the cheap oil on discount for his industry and for his people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a shit test as well from Trump. Like the Trump is testing Modi as well. It's like a shit test. Like he put political and geopolitical pressure on India and see what Modi reacts. And Modi held strong. And I think and then that probably even impressed Trump. Like Trump probably respect him even more after that. Then after that, they go back to normal and then they just chit chat and trade. It's so that's funny to me. But yeah, that is probably a shit test, but is a crazy risk that Trump took. No, he risked losing India to the adversarial side. So and
Arguably, he
turned
lost
out
a
like
bet.
sorry.
Arguably, he lost a bet.
Yeah, I'm quite sure he lost a bit.
He made them more cautious and like it didn't go very well for US and West.
Yeah, but I think Trump is betting on the personal friendship between him and Modi to play this game. So like he know, because he know Modi, like they are friends, personal friends. So he wanted to test and see how it goes. But yeah, it didn't go well. So trying to back Ukraine is one hell of a difficult thing to do. Like it's just insanely difficult to support Ukraine. What's next? European Union Leader of the Year, which also includes UK. Viktor Orban clearly is the favorite here.
I got to go with Fico, though. The guy got shot like 6 times. That deserves a vote. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Viktor Orban have more press somehow.
Sure.
Like a lot more press. And Viktor Orban is
Fico
like,
had a lot more bullets shot at him, so therefore he deserves to win.
and Viktor Orban is now like heading this movement to reform the European Union of some sort. So he's leading this rebellion movement in EU. Upgrade.
Yeah, Viktor Orban. I always mention him as the most logical and most well-spoken leader of our European Union. And he's also putting the interest of his people first. So definitely Viktor Orban should win this hands down. There is nothing to talk about here. he is the link between Russia and the European Union. If we want to, for the next decade, get normalization, we should talk more with the Hungarians and try to figure out something. Yeah.
Hi, Archimedes.
What's up? Of course, Viktor Orban is winning. There's a bunch of fucking drones. You don't realize that should be Kaya Kallas.
She's the prettiest. Oh no, sorry. There's Maloney here. Maloney is the prettiest. Sorry.
No, Kaya Kallas,
outside.
Moggs, Maloney. Easy, bro. Easy.
Yeah, sorry. Maloney, best. Especially the 21 years old Maloney. Oh, she's so pretty.
Dude, 21 years old Maloney, absolutely, right? But 21 years old Maloney, that's when she was part of like the young fascist groups in Italy and whatnot. I mean, she was based, bro.
Who cares, man? Who cares?
What do you mean? Who cares? That's a bonus. That's probably where I'd meet her. You know what I mean?
I care.
You gotta have shared interests.
Okay, so corporate business leader of the year.
It has to be Musk, realistically, or Thiel, but nobody nominated Thiel. I forgot about him.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, Musk is fair.
Well,
yeah, Musk.
I'd give Musk the honor last year. This year, I don't know if anybody's fallen as quickly as he has, right? Like when he came in, he was all Doge and he was in like Flynn with Trump. And within, a very short period of time, he was on the outs. And next thing you know, you really don't hear about him that much anymore.
Well, that depends on what you're looking at. I think he accomplished what he was trying to accomplish with Trump, is that he was trying to get more or less into Trump's good books compared to the previous administration, which he did. He didn't, he probably was trying to get even more power than he ended up with. But overall, that 6-month period where he was involved in the federal government left him in a better position than before, definitely. And, he is now worth, a huge amount. Tesla's stock is still soaring. He is getting plenty of sweetheart deals out of the government. And, one of the reasons that his valuation is going up is because there's a lot of talk about a SpaceX IPO, and people are starting to include that, because they're starting to increase their valuation estimates of SpaceX. Next year, we're going to have a SpaceX IPO. People are throwing around numbers like $800 billion, $1.5 trillion, I've heard, as far as value of the entire company. Not that the entire company would be on IPO, only about, a few percent. But still, there's a lot of hype around that. We're talking about data centers in space now. Skynet is going to be an inevitability within 5-10 years. Shit's going to get pretty crazy pretty quick. And it's exciting times for Musk for sure. I think he deserves it, but I can see other arguments too.
Go ahead, Upgrade.
Yeah, I just have one differentiation about what you said, right? You talk about Elon Musk in the political side, but he is about corporate business leader, right? So you cannot deny that in this category he is the man who everybody talks about, and which has made these huge companies, like for example Tesla, bounced back right from the downs which they were like a couple of months ago, right, to record highs, right? He's going to have SpaceX who's going to launch and come out, like Archimedes said, next year. So he's going to make a huge bunch of money, and yeah, like usual.
Okay, I'm going to go off the board.
SpaceX will never work because they don't hire enough Serbian engineers. But that's what Void's going to say.
I'm going to go off the board, right. And I'm going to choose my executive of the year, former United Health CEO Brian Thompson, who tragically lost his life in New York City about a year ago, probably kicked off a revolution. Brian Thompson gets my vote for corporate executive of the year.
Yeah, I mean he's the only he's the definitely the CEO that has done the most good for the world this year.
He has, and I salute him.
Yeah, but it's not really his fault. He wasn't the actor in this. And I mean, hey, by the way, who won Hero of the Year? I wasn't here for that. Was it?
We haven't reached
there. You guys remember?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
The next one we're gonna talk about the Hero of the Year. So we're
Yeah,
done
all
with
right.
corporate. So this,
let's
so
go to
for
hero.
those that didn't hear what I said in the beginning of the stream, this polling for the DPA awards is still ongoing. So this is just the current result so far, and then I go through from the bottom up so that we can have something to talk about. I think it's a good way to already guide us to
Yep.
review the whole year. But I think most of the topics is covered. I think it's a good way to cover the year. And
Yeah, I
now
like it, man.
DPA Peace Prize, Hero of the Year. Because Orban is the
Orban is winning.
Yeah,
For me, I gave it to Tucker and Luigi Mangione. I think Tucker has done more to evolve the American political dialectic this year than anybody else, and that's including Nick Fuentes, who's in the top three. But Luigi has done real action, in terms of political action, and sort of bridging the gap between rhetoric and reality in a way which definitely bodes well for the future reification of the various ideational concepts that are taking root in the American political culture at the moment. It's very nice to see
yeah.
real things
I'm
happening.
quite sure some people think of him as a hero. So no, yeah, that's fair, no.
I have not followed it with Luigi. Has it been really confirmed that it was him who did the shooting?
Well, we
Well, he's
don't
on
know
trial
yet.
now.
Obviously, yeah, like he's innocent until proven guilty, clearly. So there's still hope for our hero Luigi.
Well, yeah, he is innocent until proven guilty, but somebody did kill him, and whoever did pull the trigger is, until further notice, until further notice, going to go by the name Luigi in shorthand.
Correct.
Unfortunately, innocent until proven guilty is a legal principle, not a journalistic one, not a conversational one. Anyway, why would you want to take away the credit from him?
No, I
Who
want
else
to make
is?
it bigger.
Yeah, people have Trump and Putin on there. I think those are kind of, that doesn't make sense, either of those. But yeah. Anyway, my
Especially
vote's really
Trump,
for
man.
Tucker. Orban, I don't know.
My vote is for Trump. Yeah, because
I
because
don't
of his
understand the
attempt.
people who did Trump. Yeah, attempt of seizing like others, like being a pirate. Maybe that's a hero. For you, if it's a pirate is a hero, yeah. Like seizing others' places and attempting wars everywhere, yeah, that's a good hero. Plus, I am against any president to have that title, like a peace award or something, because his own job is to be like to conserve peace. This is his basic job. Like it's given like a carpenter award because he did a table or something like this. That's crazy. It's the presidents are the first job is to provide peace for their own people, man. This is the basic 101.
The president's job is to wage war,
Well, I mean,
So
but don't
that's
discount
especially
the World
against the
Historical
unwashed
Strip Corridor in
masses.
Armenia.
Santa Claus is really blur. Mr. Ted is so funny, right? I did that Santa Claus with the gun, and he looked exactly like you. He's like, what the hell?
So in spirit with combat, I was wearing a plate carrier earlier today because the world needs more violence. That's what we need. We need more violence. Fuck peace. Peace is for pussies. We need violence. That's the answer to everything. Violence.
Okay.
The question is where do we need it? Where do we need it next? Sounds like we're going to Somaliland next.
Somaliland.
Sure.
The Americans are already there. They were already like taking out the terrorists, with the government over there. No, I reported about the overkill, right? The special forces, the overkill. They like 100 special forces take out like 12 terrorists.
Yeah, and then we
was
send
in
some
Somaliland.
Patriot. We send some Patriot missiles because we wanted to give the military-industrial complex a bonus for the end of the year, and they had 3 duds, for crying out loud. I mean, what kind of bullshit is that? 3 fucking duds? I mean, maybe it was because it was Nigeria and they just didn't want to work like the rest of the country. Because everybody knows nothing really works in Nigeria.
So Ted, who is your hero of the year for 2025?
My hero of the year? I forget who I even voted for. I probably had to split it between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. You know? Because I know that's what Upgrade wanted me to do. He wanted me to vote for his buddy Netanyahu. Because
Didn't he stop the war though?
Yeah, he did. He stopped the war there in Israel with them pallies. You know, started hunting them terrorists hiding out with the pallies. So yeah, he's my hero. Yeah, I'm wearing a beanie. I couldn't find my kippah, so I had to wear a beanie. That's the closest I could come to wearing the correct head garb.
You're a very good goy, Mr. Ted. I have to
I'm
say.
no goy.
You've done a
I'm
good
no
job.
goy. I ain't a Jew. That's the neat thing about being me is I don't have to be a goy, and I don't have to be no damn Gentile neither. I ain't no heathen. I'm in that perfect spot. I get to be a believer and not be a goy.
Well, the real question is, are you circumcised?
That ain't no question. Of course, I've made my covenant with my God.
Doctor or God?
God.
Dr. Stein. Dr. Stein, Dr. Berg.
Yeah.
Someone has your foreskin. I wonder what they've done with it. Maybe they've pickled it.
Well, it was such a large specimen, they probably split it up 5 or 6 different ways to share amongst their friends.
So disgusting. Oh my god.
Hey.
Anyone have anything else to add about the hero of the year 2025? Anyone have
Gotta
a
be
special
Luigi,
hero?
Luigi, bro. Luigi or Tucker. I don't see any other argument.
Luigi's in jail. He's gonna spend the rest of his life getting anally raped in prison. He ain't getting jack shit.
Not if he consents, bro.
Oh, not if he
You should
consents.
try to be inclusive.
Well, I think it
Even
should be
more
J.D.
so-
Vance.
Even more so, it would be a hero if you look at it. There is no hero if there is no sacrifice. A hero is not someone who doesn't sacrifice. So I don't see anyone on this list to be a hero. Basically, if we count only celebrities who can be voted for, then maybe it's even Greta Thunberg who went to Israel, and stood for her.
She got arrested.
She
got arrested and deported twice. She's the worst illegal immigrant of the planet. Are you fucking kidding me?
Don't you think that Tucker suffered for his? Don't you think Tucker suffered in that he gave up his position in, as a very very high position in the establishment media, and is continuing to put himself at risk.
What risk?
It's not anyone
Risking
on that
getting a
list anyway.
paycheck? He's not risking jack shit. He's worse than that Thomas Massey motherfucker.
He's risking quite a lot.
After this conversation, I'm now convinced Viktor Orban is the hero of the year.
Victor Orban, he's from Hungary, a country that doesn't count. The only reason they're a country that exists in any real measure is because they've got their hand out to both the East and to Russia.
I think you should say that again a little louder, Nunya. Don't let him talk over you, man.
Yeah, I mean, that fucking Hungarian motherfucker, he's playing both sides of the fence.
Is that what you're trying to do, Mr. Ted? You want to move on? You want to do what Nunya's telling you to do?
Wait.
Wow.
So we continue to do the review first.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the current vote count. Is if anyone is not happy, please go and vote. Currently, the Vaughn is in the massive lead. So no. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised I'm as high as I am. I'm tied with Mr. Lambo, the twerking twink.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Lambo is the peacemaker of the year because the way he fakes that birthday cake has brought everybody together.
I'll go with Desi. Desi's always got thoughtful comments. So yeah, I'll pick Desi.
Yeah, I voted Desi and Gabriel. Full disclosure.
So super chat. Just now I missed this one. So this was like 30 minutes ago. Preston Sparks say Europe is going to eat itself in 5 years. It's all going to fall apart. I don't think they have the backbone to fight for their country. I'm sorry, I missed this.
He's exactly right. He's exactly right.
And Stefel says Nunya looks like he's about to explode.
Okay.
He should have taken an extra tablet for his blood pressure medicine.
I think you'll find.
Ted, I will say, Ted, you're not as pink. You're not as pink today as you usually are. So well done,
It's
sir.
because I've been hiding inside and I haven't gotten sunburned yet. But I got the shop lights on here in my shop.
Nanya,
So
can I
I
just
will
say how
get more
impressive it
red
is?
as we sit out here.
Can I say how impressive it is, Nanya, that you
Unless I
are?
wrap up with my my Second Amendment smuggle.
Can I say how impressive I find it, Nanya, that you're sitting next to Eamon, and yet you are the one who looks likely to explode.
I don't respond to retards. That's right. I think it will conserve my neurons and my IQ.
Especially when you're flying a plane. It says building ahead, retard, building ahead, retard.
I just want y'all to know that 2026 is the year for war.
Those are
We're done with peace.
friends.
That's why I'm
You're
wearing
done with what? What'd you say, Nika?
my battle schmugger.
Those are Ted friends.
Ted's friends.
Who we worship. Yeah.
It's true. In the ones who were dancing, the Bushes,
Who we worship, yeah.
the
ones who we
Rumsfelds,
worship.
the Cheneys. Emphasis. Yeah, no, I'm with you on this one, Eamon. You got to understand what Ted is, man. Is a true born and bred boomer, and
No, he's good. He's good as a clown. So there's more fun in the OP. It's good. It's good for business, for life.
You're
He
just
adds something
jealous.
to
I'm
the-
a rich motherfucker who happens to be white.
He
You
adds
don't have
something
any
like-
of that going for you. You're not an
We cannot all
American.
be-
You're
we
not
cannot all
rich.
be
You're not even
smart.
fucking white.
Intelligent. we need a monkey. We need a monkey, someone who lighten a bit the mood, you know. So that's it.
I just, I would have to cope and seethe as bad as you if I had as little going for you as you do.
I have no idea what's happening right now. Anyway,
I don't know. Let's move on to the next one.
so this is actually the last one because we go from the bottom. This is actually the first question. The person of the year, and as usual, the person of the year is always won by Putin. When this looks like this is going to be the case again.
fucking annoying.
This is 100% because of the bias of the community because
It's
they're mostly
rigged.
pro-Russia.
It's rigged, man.
Like, so which is
paying
why I
you
came out with so many other questions and posts because like if it's only just this person of the year, then it's going to be so boring.
Yeah,
So
I really agree. I'm really glad that you did that, Wyatt. It's pretty frustrating. I mean, I don't know. I guess it makes sense. You are at the end of the day a Ukraine war channel, and and that's the main thing that people care about. But I mean, I guess it's the main thing that everybody has a touchstone on. We all may have our different interests outside of that, but that's the main thing that everybody agrees on.
So I'm happy that so this time around I have the
everyone's
business corporate
interested in.
one. No, then I have the European, the Asian. So we basically covers everybody. So that's a bit more cool. Is there anything else? Anything you guys want to talk about? Like because you guys some of you guys.
I missed the quote of the year. Who won on that one?
The poll is still the awards polling is still ongoing, but the quote of the year at the moment the lead is in Russia is retreating forward.
Seriously,
followed close by
so
we are winning, and this like Kanye West, nigger hail Hitler.
Dang it!
Yeah.
I hope nigga hail Hitler wins.
I'm sad I didn't. I'm sad I didn't have a better showing in that one.
Well, like I
What was your
said, I
quote?
mean, if I had nominated
My quote was,
then
"I'm ready to
Ursula
stack 'em
von
like
der Leyen would've
cordwood."
won.
Yeah, maybe it's because people didn't vote for me because it wasn't attributed to me.
Oh, I like that Putin one though. The vampire party's over. I like that one.
Is that one by Putin?
Yep.
Huh.
Interesting. Yeah. So, word of the year. Oh, there is there some new votes in? Yes. we have slop, collapse, anti-Semitism. So these are some
Oh,
new
yeah.
interesting
So what's winning?
entries.
It's slop winning. That's good. Slop is
Slop
definitely
is
the
winning.
word of the year.
Yeah, for me, I was saying just now, no, I have never seen slop being used this much. Like
Yep.
it was never a mainstream word until this year, where we have the AI slop and whatever slop, no.
It's all them guys liking pork. They're feeding their hogs, feeding them full of slop.
Yeah, so Evil Rabbit is winning. Yeah, then we have the Ukraine war stuff, which I think most of us are bored. Only Vaughn is interested.
Oh, it's same old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Until we start going towards Odessa, I'm not going to get excited anymore.
Yeah.
I'm still rooting for Odessa. Odessa is a Russian port.
Russian pork.
Yeah, Russian port. Yeah.
So
I'd like to
so we
add
can go back
something
to our
regards the joke of the year, especially politician and disappointment of the year. You have kind of touched upon it because European Union is well, a conglomerate of disappointments. But there is one person who sticks out, in my opinion. And sorry, upgrade. I think it's not Macron. It's Merz. You know, it's Merz because basically right now with this credit for Ukraine, France screwed Germany. You know. So France has at least some smart diplomats because they first took Germany basically to they tricked them and they made Germany believe that they will take the money, but then Meloni and also Macron they dropped out and they didn't push alongside Merz, and the only option which was left were Eurobonds, and Eurobonds is a thing that this is credit that the European Union takes, not the governments of the states of the European Union, which is something that Germany always resisted, you know, because Germany pays most of that money back, you know, that the European Union takes up as credit. So they have always argued that every country should take their own credit. And now these Eurobonds are getting the kind of normal. And this is a great French success within the European Union, you know. And Germany is screwed double, you know.
So super chat by Slafel. American center mocks Canadian center. And yeah, Merz is not on the list though. Nobody's like, yeah. I think he's in the disappointment. No, he's also not in the disappointment. Yeah, he's not on the list. Nobody nominated him though. Upgrade.
Well, the worst thing is that nobody expected a lot from Merz, but he's still disappointed, you know.
That's what I wanted to say, Wojin. Nobody mentioned him because he's so irrelevant, you know, that he's not even, you know, inside, you know. So yeah, but the Eurobonds are, you know, backed up by the Russian, you know, assets. So at the end, you know, there is, you know, they try to make this, about Eurobonds, but at the end, it's backed by the Russian assets. So that's a big mistake for the Europe. Big mistake.
I thought they failed to take the money as collateral for credits.
Yeah, they failed. They put their the budget as a collateral, as a security, something like this.
Their own budget, yes, the European Union budget.
European money is
that's the last. That's
the
collateral.
last.
But that's the last. That's the last part. Before that is the Russian, assets and so on. So they put this as last if they cannot pay, because if Russia wins, you know, in the court of law, then they cannot use that. So they had to have 3 different layers of, you know, guarantees, you know, and the last one was this one which you mentioned.
I'm not sure about that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that it's only the budget. There wasn't any mention about
that's how I understood it. Yes.
Maybe
me too.
Maybe I'm wrong because I heard it on the Swiss TV that they changed it. You know that they took
No, I think they didn't put it at all as a guarantee
okay.
for the
Then
loan.
it's,
It's
then it's
already, yeah. Yeah, but
then it's
it's
okay, but it's still fucked up because it's Europe who's gonna pay it anyway. So what the fuck, you know? We didn't get anything, you know.